What if I told you the girl the world calls sweet, soft, and kind survived emotional breakdowns, public humiliation, chronic illness, heartbreak, and identity collapse, all while smiling on red carpets? What if the real story of Selena Gomez isn't about fame, but about psychological survival? From Disney princess to billionaire founder, from public heartbreak to emotional stability, from mental health struggles to becoming one of the most influential women online. But here's the question nobody asks. Was she always strong, or did she have to break first? In this video, we're going to uncover the real psychology behind her reinvention, what most people misunderstand about her journey, and what you can learn from the way she rebuilt herself. And by the end of this video, you'll understand something powerful. Her success wasn't luck, it wasn't beauty, it wasn't fame, it was emotional reconstruction. Let's begin. She was born in Texas. Money was tight, bills were stressful, stability was uncertain. But here's the uncomfortable question. Does growing up with financial struggle create hunger, or does it create fear of losing everything? For Selena, it created both. Children who grow up watching their parents struggle often develop a silent promise: I will never go back to this. That promise becomes fuel, but it also becomes anxiety. That's why her drive was intense, not just to succeed, but to stay secure. And that early psychological pattern explains something important. Her work ethic was not about fame, it was about safety. And once you understand that, her later business moves start to make sense.
Disney era. Was that confidence real? When she entered Disney and became the face of Wizards of Waverly Place, she looked confident, funny, in control. But here's the real question. Was she confident, or was she performing confidence? Child stars are trained to smile, speak correctly, protect the brand, avoid controversy. You learn how to act before you learn who you are. And when your identity forms inside an industry machine, something dangerous happens. You become loved for the character, not the person. That creates an internal split: image versus self, and that split follows you into adulthood. So the real tension wasn't fame, it was identity confusion, and she had to break that mask later.
Music reinvention. Why did her sound suddenly change? Early pop hits were catchy, polished, safe. But then came vulnerability. Why? Because here's the psychological truth. You can only fake authenticity for so long before your mind demands honesty. When she released deeper emotional music like Lose You to Love Me, it wasn't just a chart success, it was emotional closure. The question wasn't, will this be it? The real question was, am I finally ready to tell the truth? And the moment she did, the world connected more deeply. Because people don't bond with perfection, they bond with honesty. The Justin era. Was it love or emotional dependency? Her relationship with Justin Bieber played out publicly for years, but let's ask something deeper. Why do strong women sometimes stay in unstable cycles? Because emotional attachment can feel stronger than self-worth. When love becomes your identity, leaving feels like losing yourself. That's why breakups hit harder when you haven't fully defined who you are alone. And when that chapter finally ended, it wasn't just a breakup, it was identity separation. Painful, but necessary, because sometimes losing someone is how you find yourself. Health and mental struggles. Why would someone successful feel so broken? Here's the uncomfortable question. How can someone with millions of fans still feel empty? Because fame does not heal childhood wounds. Money does not fix mental health. Applause does not silence anxiety. Her lupus diagnosis and kidney transplant forced her to face physical vulnerability. Her bipolar diagnosis forced her to face mental vulnerability. And that's terrifying. But here's the relief. Instead of hiding it, she spoke about it. She made vulnerability visible, and that shifted her power dynamic. She was no longer pretending to be perfect. She was choosing to be human, and that is psychological maturity. Another celebrity makeup brand, or something deeper? Let's ask the real question. Why would someone who struggled with self-image create a beauty company? Because she wasn't selling perfection. She was selling emotional acceptance. Rare Beauty focuses on individuality, real skin, natural finishes, courses, and mental health funding. That's not branding. That's personal healing translated into business. And when you build a brand from truth instead of ego, it connects. That's why it scaled fast, because people don't just buy products, they buy alignment. Acting reinvention. Why did only murders in the building change her image? Was it just another role? Or was it strategic evolution? This show positioned her next to respected actors. It gave her complexity, depth, adult range. The real question, how do you shift from teen idol to serious artist? Answer, you choose projects that change perception. And she did. That wasn't accidental. That was controlled reinvention. Stability and Benny Blanco. Why does this relationship feel different? Public drama used to follow her relationships. So why does this one feel calm? Because emotional growth changes attraction patterns. When you heal insecurity, you stop chasing chaos. You choose safety. Reports confirmed their marriage in 2025, and this time it didn't look like emotional intensity. It looked like peace. That is growth. Social media pressure. How do you stay sane with 400 million watching? Here's the question most people don't think about. What happens when the world constantly comments on your body, your face, your weight, your love life? It creates hyper-awareness. But she did something unusual. She stepped back. She limited access. She protected her peace. In a world addicted to validation, she chose boundaries. And that's real power. So what are most people missing when they look at Selena Gomez? They see fame, they see beauty, they see success. But the real story is this. She didn't rise because she was perfect. She rose because she rebuilt herself after every collapse. And that's the lesson. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you construct, piece by piece, after losing parts of yourself. And if she could rebuild under public pressure, imagine what you can rebuild privately.